What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Mario Beat coming back at you with our team builder for the first week of the World Pokemon Federation. Well, it's our first week, but the league's fourth week, and we are going up against the Garchomp Darkrai, and they are 3-0 while we are 0-3. So someone's taking an L at the end of this battle, and I don't know if it's going to be me or him. But we built this team right here for this guy right here. As you can see, that's his team down in the corner, and that's first two rows are my team, first two rows are his team. Like I said, for week 1 I do have to use the original team, but I mean for week 4, but next week I will be playing with all those mons that I was talking about in the draft analysis. And if you guys haven't checked out that draft analysis, make sure to go to the description down below and check out that draft analysis. But anyways, as you can see, his team consists of Jirachi, a strong bulky, base 100s across the board, steel type, which can pretty much absorb a lot of hits, stop my Clefable, really stop a lot of my mons except for Garchomp and Aerodactyl, and maybe even an Earthquake Gyarados if he's expecting it. Mega Gyarados with some pretty strong stab, crunch, waterfall, Dragon Dance potential, scary to come. His Tangrowth, very defensive, can stop things like my Garchomp, even my Gyarados pretty easily. Can wall a couple of my things too. Same thing with Alamomola, very bulky mon with insane HP and just the ability to send up wishes, some fat wishes, and not really care. And then you got Zapdos, another fat mon that can just roost and stop a lot of my defensive mons here like Beedrill and Chestnut and Aerodactyl and Ambipom, just because of that static ability, get me paralyzed. Then we have Nihilego right there, pretty good special attacker with Sludge Wave, Power Gem, can set up rocks, can also T-Wave, do things like that. Umbreon, another fat wall, like he didn't have enough already, but another wish user, along with can't really set up on that mon because of foul play most of the time. If you're setting up on the physical side, he will hit you pretty hard. But yeah, Umbreon, just an annoying dark type. So then goes to Rhydon, another bulky mon with the Violite, can set up rocks, can be a nuisance with like Stone Edge and Earthquake spam. Gotta watch out for that. Then we got Swellow, with that insane stab of Boom Burst, just being so strong with something like Choice Specs, or even like a Gut Set with Flame Orb will be pretty deadly. Then we got Cloyster right there with the Shell Smash ability, the ability to get up to +2 on everything, then take a White Herb and just be basically back at neutral, and then he could just pretty much put in a lot of work with that skill link ability, or can even just be like a Spike's Rapid Spin lead as well, which could be annoying. And then lastly we got Primeape, which is a fighting type. Usually you see Scarf, can put in some work against my team too. I didn't really put the 6 that I was expecting in any particular order, but I am expecting the Jirachi, the Mega Gyarados, the Tangrowth, the Zapdos, and then either one of his Wish Passers like Alamomola or Umbreon, and then Nihilego. I guess the top 6 is what I'm expecting mostly, but I can see any 6 of the 11 coming. But we did prep for everything. So as you guys been seeing and can see on the screen, you see Clefable first. I don't know why that doesn't have a nickname. Some of these don't have the nicknames. Sorry for that, y'all. I'm very unprepared for that right now. We'll name them as we go. We got Big Mama right here. Pretty standard Wish, Protect, Moonblast with the Calm Mind, because we can set up on a couple of his defensive mons. Plus HP, 252 HP, 252 defense, and Force Protect. Pretty basic set with the bold nature. This is meant to take on things like his Mega Gyarados, since we do have the Unaware ability. It can Dragon Dance as many times as it wants, and we don't really have to worry about that. And if we have one Calm Mind up, we one-shot it, and then if we don't, we still two-shot it. So that's pretty good. This thing can also take on his Zapdos. It is one of his Z-Mons, so just in case it is fully offensive with the Calm Mind up, this Clefable pretty much walls it as well. This thing also switches in on things like Swellow, but it's mostly meant for his setup mons like Gyarados and who's the other one that I was thinking about? And Cloyster, there you go. Cloyster. So Cloyster gets up that Shell Smash. We don't gotta worry about the +2 Icicle Spears doing any damage, and we almost one-shot it with the Moonblast too. So that's mostly what Big Mom was here for. She's mostly here to sponge up those strong set of mons like Gyarados and Cloyster that can Ice Shard it and hit it with hard crunches and Earthquake, stuff like that. Next we got Garchomp here, aka Hammerhead. Whoa, Hammerhead. Rocking a pretty basic set. Some of these sets are basic. I was a little rushed for this team build, but nevertheless, Stone Edge, Earthquake, Poison Jab, Swords Dance, max HP, max attack, max speed. This is max speed to force the Nihilego to go ahead and run max speed as well. This thing hits a good amount of his mons. +2 pretty much does about 70% to everything. Earthquake hits the Jirachi, the Gyarados, the Nihilego, the Umbreon, the Rhydon, the Cloyster, and the Primeape, while Stone Edge takes care of his other things like the Gyarados if it's not Mega'd. Also the Zapdos does good damage to Swellow, and the Poison Jab is just there for the Tangrowth, if we're being honest, which could basically wall me, but at +2 I'm doing about 60 to a fully defensive one, so it should be okay. Rocking the Rocky MZ right here, ready to launch it off on Zapdos. So that's pretty much his job. His job is to pretty much either sweep at the end with everything or just go ahead and put in some work. We do have a little tech, which I will show you guys a little later. But next we have my boy Salcheezer right here, rocking the Thick Fat for the Cloyster just in case I need to switch in on it. Curse Rest, Ice Punch, Earthquake set. This EV spread is almost max HP, enough. The attack, actually let me go into the defense first. So the defense is to be able to take the Primeape close combat. It lets me live 2 at +1. The 124 Spadef is to take a fully invested Focus Blast from Nihilego, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Is that what that Spadef is for? I think at +1 I live a Sludge Wave if it gets the +1. I think that's what the Spadef is for. Yeah, and then also helps with choice specs. Boom Burst, it helps with Jirachi, it helps with Tangrowth, it helps with Alomomola, not have to worry about getting burned because I can just rest it off. Rhydon, and yeah, that's pretty much what this is for. Ice Punch and Earthquake hit everything. Earthquake hits the Jirachi, Gyarados, Ice Punch hits the Tangrowth, Earthquake hits the Alomomola, Ice Punch hits the Zapdos, Earthquake hits the Nihilego, Earthquake for Umbreon, Earthquake for that, Ice Punch, Earthquake. So pretty much hits everything. Didn't really need anything else. Next we got my boy Shell Shock right here. This guy is Drain Punch, Toxic, Energy Ball, Super Fang, almost max HP, 80 defense, 180 Spadef with an Impish nature. This thing is meant to come in on the Alomomola, the Umbreon, the Primeape, the Tangrowth, and pretty much just do damage to it. I can get off 50% off on anything with the Super Fang. Energy Ball is to catch a defensive Alomomola off guard with it being special, and then Drain Punch is basically there for the Umbreon. With Toxic, to toxic things like his Zapdos, his Tangrowth, maybe even his Mega Gyarados if it does get a little bit annoying. But yeah, that's pretty much the plan. I'm really excited to see this work. I feel like this is gonna put in a lot of work. I think he's gonna be the MVP this game. We're gonna see though. I have high hopes for Shell Shocker. Next we have Ranger with the tech that I was talking about. Boom boom, hitting that Tailwind for Garchomp to set up that Sword Dance and sweep. But yeah, I mean, U-turn, Poison Jab, knockoff, pretty standard stab. Knockoff hit the Jirachi, and Tailwind is for a last ditch effort when I have the I basically have the ability to just hit U-turn on something, and if he wants to switch out, I'll set up that Tailwind for my Garchomp. So that's the plan on Tailwind. And to wrap off the team builder, we have my boy Lucifer right here rocking the Focus Sash. Gonna be my lead 100% of the time. Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Stone Edge, and Taunt. This thing can taunt things like his Cloyster if he wants to lead it. It can taunt things like his Gyarados if he wants to lead it. His Zapdos if he wants to lead it. His Tangrowth so it doesn't pop out any Leech Seeds. His Alomomola or his Umbreon just in case they want to send a Wish up. Or right on if he goes for rocks. So that's basically the theory behind this. Taunt, get on my rocks, earthquake, and stone edge pretty much hit everything for neutral or super effective damage. And that's pretty much our team right here. We got here. So alright guys, we're coming back at you with the battle. So I do have some bad news. I recorded this live, but my dumbass forgot to check if the mic was working or if it was properly connected, and it just ended up recording with no audio at all. So unfortunately this was gonna have to be post-com. I promise that next time I will check my mic and the next one will be live. But anyways, getting into the battle, he actually ended up bringing a lot of the mons that I was expecting. Actually every mon that I was expecting except the Primeape and the Gyarados, as you can see in the team builder. If you guys didn't see the team builder, and you guys just skipped to the battle over here, I was expecting the Jirachi, the Tangrowth, and Alomomola, a Nihilego, a Zapdos, and then I believe the other mon was something along the lines of, I don't remember, doesn't matter now. But yeah, so this is the 6 that he brought. A team matchup, I see that Garchomp is going to put in a lot of work. Once I get a Tailwind up on my Mega Beedrill, it can just go in. My Mega B is also going to be putting in a lot of work here. Just going to have to be careful with that Zapdos static and also the Jirachi switch-ins, because I don't really have anything to hit either one of those. U-turn won't do that much to the Zapdos, maybe like 20-30% max, and then to the Jirachi it does minimal damage. So the plan here at team matchup I was thinking that Arrow can pretty much handle everything on this team: Gyarados, the Zapdos, the Jirachi, the Nihilego. Only bad thing was that if he let off Tangrowth, and I don't see why he would lead off Tangrowth. He would probably expect me to either lead the Mega Beedrill or the Garchomp lead. So most likely him leading off with something like the Primeape or the Jirachi to get up to his rocks made the most sense. So we're going to go into the battle here. And as you can see, I lead off with Aerodactyl as he leads off with Primeape. I'm thinking this is Scarf, so I know I can live anyone hit because of the Focus Sash. And he's going to go ahead and U-turn out here as I am going to get on my rocks. And he is going to go ahead and Iron Head here. Now when he first switched this in, I did believe that it could be Scarfed. I was thinking if he does have double Scarfs, we're going to find out here with this Aerodactyl. This Aerodactyl really wasn't meant to do that much. It was really just to get up rocks and then damage anything that it can. It did have Taunt to stop a potential Stealth Rock lead as well, but this going down to this Iron Head really did not matter that much, as I do end up getting my rocks up. He Iron Heads me, he confirms he's Scarf. This does indeed give me a free switch into my Garchomp here, which I'm going to go ahead and switch into. I want to go for the Earthquake, but I know he's going to switch out to Tangrowth, so I actually go for the Swords Dance here. He's just going to play with some swords here, gets +2. I know Poison Jab will be a 2-hit KO, so I go ahead and Poison Jab him as he reveals to be Rocky Helmet here. He drains, he gets a buff about 30%. Doesn't really matter too much. I'm thinking I can go for Poison Jab, but I'm scared of the Jirachi switching. So I know I'll live with a hit from Jirachi, so I just go for the Poison Jab. And it does a lot to the Zapdos, about 49% plus the rocks. I figured I might as well just blow my Z move here on this Zapdos. Anything switching is going to take a lot of damage, and successfully I do get rid of the Zapdos. So Garchomp's going to go ahead and pick up his first kill here as he brings in the Nihilego. Now I know this isn't Scarf because he already has 2 Scarfers, but I do know it is faster than me. I do have a completely safe switch in my Snorlax here. At first I was contemplating going for Curse, just getting the Curse up, but I figured that Earthquake would probably be the better play, just because if it does decide to stay in, thinking it can knock me out with the Focus Blast, I can knock it out in return. He ends up making the Tangrowth play, so good play on my opponent's end. I'm just going to go ahead and go into my Chestnut here to hopefully get off the Toxic, as he actually Toxics me instead. So I'm here, I'm thinking, I'm scared of the Jirachi switching, but I figure he doesn't want to switch on this Drain Punch, so I'm just going to go ahead and give it Toxic off as he lands the knockoff. He knocks off my leftovers. Not that big of a deal entirely. This was just meant for the Alomomola and the Umbreon anyways, so I'm just going to go ahead and make the switch into my Snorlax as he goes ahead and doubles into his Jirachi. I know I can live any hit he wants to go for, and I'm just going to go ahead and go for Earthquake here to hopefully knock this thing out as he makes a good play and U-turns into his Primeape, which is still going to take about 50%, so that's really good for me. I go ahead and switch on to my Chestnut because I'm like, as long as I have this around, there's no reason I shouldn't let it take hits from this, because nothing else really does want to take hits from that. And I was fearing a gunk shot on my Clefable, which is why I didn't switch into it. But in hindsight, I should have tested out for that. But Jirachi's going to come back in, and he's just going to keep U-turning with that annoying low U-turn core he has, as I'm just going to go ahead and go for a Super Fang here, getting off about 30% on his tank growth. I do unfortunately take some Rocky Helmet damage, as he's going to take some toxic damage. I know it's my last turn. I'm going to Drain Punch, try to get some health back, and get this tank growth as low as possible. I do unfortunately die to the Rocky Helmet, as he's going to Giga Drain, which fails. I do see that this gives me a free switch into my Beedrill finally. Gonna go ahead and get that Mega Evolution off, and I believe here I actually went for the U-turn, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm gonna go ahead and Mega. I'm gonna go ahead and actually I Tailwind here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and U-turn out of here. I was thinking that if I should Poison Jab. If I Poison Jabbed here, if I Poison Jabbed there, I could have knocked out this Gyarados. Even at -1, it still would have knocked him out. But it wouldn't knock out a Mega Gyarados, which is actually his Mega. So it was really a 50-50 call there. I know U-turn would have been the overall better play, because I can switch this in. This is basically my switch into a +1 Gyarados, because it's unaware Clefable. But I was thinking, why risk the Poison Jab and just go ahead and U-turn into this, since this is my designated check for this. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it in. He waterfalls. It doesn't really do that much, but he gets switch it in. I'll take the waterfall damage, and I'll just go ahead and I believe I get up a Wish here. Yeah, as I do. I figure Snorlax is completely safe to get in here. So here my opponent is going to read that and actually go into Snorlax. Read me going into my Snorlax makes a great play and goes into this Primeape. I see that I have about a 50% chance to live this close combat, so I'm just going to go ahead and risk it and try to live it, but unfortunately I don't. So this guy is unfortunately going to go down to the close combat. Here I'm losing 3 to 5. I bring in my Mega Beedrill. I know that a U-turn will kill this thing, but he is Scarfed, and I can take this close combat pretty safely. So I'm just going to go ahead and get at my Tailwind, so I know I'll be faster. I should be able to get off a free Poison Jab here. As I do, I go ahead and knock out this Primeape, which is a big threat. Already did his job though, so I mean, good work on its end. Here Nihilego switches in. I'm Mega Beedrill. I'm just going to go ahead and actually go for the U-turn here, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, so I go for the U-turn, and it lives on 5% because of the Intimidate. As I'm just going to go ahead and bring in my Clefable here. My plan was to get a couple wishes in to go ahead and get my Garchomp healthy, because it was about at 51%. So I go ahead and protect here, get some lefties over, as he's going to waterfall. I get some leftovers, chilling. I know this thing will not knock me out. My Tailwind does peter out, doesn't really matter. He waterfalls here, and he gets the flinch, which definitely sucks. Would have been nice to get off that Wish, but I'm just going to go ahead and protect here, get some lefties again, as he's just going to go for the waterfall. I figure I might as well get a Wish up here on this next turn, just because I might as well get up to full, or try to at least. And this is where the battle gets a little slow, because he does he doesn't kill me and I don't kill him. So right here I'm just kind of wishing, protecting, trying to get up to full comfortable range where I can just knock this guy out. As I do get my Wish up, 88%, I'm at 94, I'm basically at full. I figure why not just do one more Wish, you know, get up to full. But he gets the second flinch, which definitely sucks. In the long run, doesn't really end up mattering too much, but just elongates the game. He's going to go ahead and D-dance here, expecting me to Wish, I'm predicting. Unaware Clef shouldn't be taking more damage, so I'm not really tripping, right? That's what Unaware does. It doesn't let you take more damage from stat boost. I get my Wish up, I'm at full. He's going to go ahead and waterfall me here, and it does about 52%, which is more than it was doing. So if someone can explain that to me, because I am confused. Let me pause the video. I am confused. I thought Unaware meant that no boosting moves will cause more damage. Correct me if I am wrong. Waterfall was doing 37% earlier. When he went to +1, it did 52. I don't know if it's hacks. I don't know what it is. Someone explain it to me if you know. Please leave it in the comments down below. But anyways, I knock out the Gyarados with a Moonblast, and right now the game's 3-3. I tied it back up from 5 to 3 to 3 to 3. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm thinking right now in this point of the game, I'm thinking, how do I win this? How do I win this? I know that I can definitely get up a Tailwind with my Mega Beedrill, and then I can win the game with Garchomp, right? Earthquake the Jirachi, Earthquake the Nihilego, Poison Jab the Tangrowth, and it's pretty much game. So that's my mindset going into this turn. One thing I was definitely fearing was the beast boost in speed for Nihilego, because if this did get a speed boost +1, I don't know if my Garchomp's gonna outspeed it. I know Garchomp does get +2 speed with the Tailwind, but I was still fearing that he could outspeed me past the Tailwind, which is why you'll see me do a couple weird moves here. So going back into the battle, thinking let me see what he wants to go for, and he ends up going for the Sludge Wave. And this is another important play here. So I know he's gonna go for Sludge Wave again because he wants to knock this out. I'm thinking, okay, if I can bring in my Mega B, sack it off to, I actually won't die to Sludge Wave. I take about 20 to 30%, and I know I can get on my Tailwind, which then allows me to sack off something like my Big Mama and get in my Garchomp to just clean up the game, right? Not as simple as that. I don't want him to predict that and go for something like a Power Gem, because in the end that will probably screw me over more. So that's kind of my mind state going into this turn right here. I'm kind of thinking, should I sack this off? I don't want to give him a speed boost. It could happen, and I risk it all for the biscuit right here. He Sludge Waves, it does 30%, I live it, and I'm able to get up that Tailwind, which is so crucial, so important, because I do not knock out this Nihilego, and he actually messed up switching out, giving me more damage than Nihilego that I actually needed. So here I'm just gonna go for the knockoff. I'm like, whatever wants to come in is gonna take this knockoff. Nothing wants to take it. If the Nihilego takes it, I knock off whatever item it has, which is probably like a power boosting move. And then if the Jirachi comes in, it's not gonna well take 2 of these knocks. And plus, I still have the Tailwind up for about 3 turns. So knock off his Choice Scarf. I know I'm for sure faster. And then he goes out into his Tangrowth, in which here I'm gonna go ahead and go for the knockoff again. I knock off this thing's Rocky Helmet. Doesn't really end up mattering. He's about to die to Toxic, so here I'm like, let me go into my Clefable, so this thing will die, and I can probably get a Wish off into like something like my Mega B, or even my Garchomp. So that was the plan going into it, but unfortunately I didn't look at the health that it had, and I see that Tangrowth dies to the Toxic. So this play, I was really sweating it. I didn't know if I should sack off my the only play I had was to sack off my Clefable, get in my Mega B, and go for the rocks. Here I was and go for the Tailwind, sorry. Here I was contemplating whether or not I wanted to hit him with the Moonblast. Moonblast does actually knock him out from this range at 39%. But I didn't know if I wanted to just go for it and knock him out, fearing him to do something else, or if I should just sack this off and give him the speed boost. That's really what was tripping me out all game. I was praying and hoping that he was not a speed boosting Nihilego, as he's gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and protect here, scouting what he wants to do, and as he actually goes for Sludge Wave. So I'm like, he's gonna knock me out here. I just have to let him, and I have to live with the consequences. He knocks me out, and he shows that he is special attack boosting. This completely won me the game. I Tailwind here, and I basically clean up with Garchomp here. So that's pretty much the game. I get at my Tailwind here. He does get the +2 special attack. Doesn't matter at all. Garchomp comes in at +2 speed. He's gonna go ahead and Earthquake this, and then the Jirachi is gonna come in and take the Earthquake to the face as well. So our first win here in the World Pokemon Federation against a team that was 3-0. So hey, round of applause to us, because we kind of played ham. We did some good plays in this game. I think the most crucial part of this game was switching in the Beedrill on the Sludge Wave and hoping that he didn't go for the Tailwind, getting up that additional Tailwind, which allowed me to knock off the Choice Scarf off of Jirachi, and then allowing me to knock off that Rocky Helmet off Tangrowth. Didn't matter in the end, but if I needed to live a hit, knock out the Nihilego with Clefable in the end, instead of getting that Tailwind up with Mega Beedrill, I would have needed that Rocky Helmet off the Tangrowth in order to live a Poison Jab that I was going to hit it with this Garchomp. So overall, just a great game. Big shout out to my opponent. He played good. We played good. It was a great game. Narrow victory with the 1-0. But we do hand them their first L, and we do catch the first W of the season. So we're now 1-3, and he's 3-1. Remembering, I picked up the team with it 0-3. So we're currently 1-0, technically undefeated. Lego. Lego. Nah, but yeah, guys, if you guys did like the video, make sure to leave a like. If you guys are new watching me for the first time, make sure to drop a sub down below for more content, and I will catch you guys on the next battle. See ya.